Cheers. Who doesn't love a good cup of iced coffee in the morning? I know you guys saw me make that. That was actually intentional in the beginning of the clip where you guys saw me making my iced coffee in the morning. I'm sure you noticed that was not a normal cup. That was actually a cup from McDonald's. But there's a reason for that. So stick around and wait till the end and you will find out. But I want to say welcome back. This is my first official video for this channel. Once again, my name is John Ware. A few weeks later than the original video I posted, but I finally came around and realized I just need to post this content. And I decided to stop listening to that little voice in my mind because of so many different factors, whether it's how I sound, what people are going to think about me. And I just need to get that out of my head and just post this content for you guys. But let's jump right into it. Right now, we're in a current climate where everyone is trying to maximize their spending. I've been in your shoes, where you're trying to save every penny, every dollar, and make it worth your time and your money. Because as we all know, interest rates have gone up, the cost of goods have gone up, even groceries have significantly increased, where the price of eggs, as we all know, has gone up at least 13% since 2021. But it's all gradual from, the pandemic, what happened in that time frame, which was not that long ago. And I know it makes it sound like it was long ago, but it really was not. But we're in a moment in time where we can't just walk into a store and start grabbing goods and filling up our baskets without considering how we are spending our dollars. So I want to help you guys maximize your spending and give you 5 simple hacks to help you maximize every dollar you have that could potentially save you thousands of dollars per year. One of the first ones we'll jump right into it is eating out, right? We all love fast food. We all love going to restaurants and trying many different things. Because we're at our 9 to 5, we get off, we have to spend an hour in traffic getting home. Then you have to get home, spend 30 minutes to an hour prepping and cooking your dinner for your family or even just yourself. And that's very time consuming, right? Who wants to do that after a long day of work? I know typically I don't. I typically, when I'm working my 8 to 5, I dread coming home and having to cook a meal after sitting in traffic for an hour, because you get off at 5, you spend an hour in traffic, you're home at 6. It takes you an hour to cook, 30 minutes to eat. That means it's almost 7:30, 8. Then you have to shower, you have to wind down, get ready for bed. But there's ways to, save your costs, instead of eating out, because the cost of groceries have gone up. What you can do is you can stop eating out and take those funds and put towards your groceries, right? Because the average American is spending $3,030 per year on eating out. You can take that, put it towards your groceries, and what you can do is to maximize your time, you can prep your meals, right? So not only will this save you time, this will also give you additional groceries in your home, save you time, but also it's typically healthier than eating out, right? But keep in mind, if you're not wanting to cook on a Sunday and you're driving by Chick-fil-A and they're closed, it's probably a sign you should probably just save that money and focus on eating what you have in your house. On a similar note, have you ever gone to the store hungry? Well, you probably shouldn't, because I know I have. I'm a person who likes to get up super early just to get everything that needs to be done, or everything that I can get done super early, so I'm not having to worry about it later in the day. I know a lot of people will go to the grocery store and they'll go hungry, right? when you go to the store hungry, you probably know that's not a good thing, because that's going to cause you to put a lot more things in your basket than what you planned to get originally, right? That's called impulse buying. And that's the second hack that I'm going to tell you about today. How can you avoid that, right? What you can do is make a list, right? You can make a list writing out exactly what you need, and that'll help you maximize every dollar you have. You can do the pre-research using the store's app wherever you shop. Do that pre-research so you know exactly what your costs are going to be going to the store. But the most important thing is to probably eat a snack before you go, so that way your mind's not telling you that you're hungry, which causes you to buy more things. And just FYI, 26% of Americans are making impulse purchases to the grocery store, and I guarantee you most of them are hungry and they have their kids. So if you're taking your whole family, I would definitely make sure you feed them a snack or breakfast prior to going into the store. That way your kids aren't yelling they want this and that, which they probably will. But if they're fed and full, they'll be less likely to ask for food, including yourself. Your mind will tell you, you already know you ate, so you don't need all this extra food that you're throwing into your cart, and you can stick to your list and maximize your spending. Not just grocery, but consider the many different categories. For example, if you go into Walmart, the cost of goods across electronics, toys, home goods, essentials, everything has gone up in cost, right? So if you keep this up, that could be an extra $5,400 in expenses per year that you're spending on impulse purchases. If you're in a position where you're in the store, or you know you're having to purchase a laptop down the road or a washer machine down the road, and maybe you don't need that item right now, and you can hold off for just a little bit, give yourself at least 24 hours to discuss your decision with your partner, with a friend, or do that research to make sure that you're making the right decision before you make a significant purchase. Make sure you're eating before you go to the store, and make sure you have a list to ensure that you can maximize every single dollar that you are spending at the store. And kind of to get off topic, kind of away from that food category that we've been talking about for the first two hacks, but this next one, I've been lucky to be in a position to where I've been able to purchase cars for the largest used car dealer here in the U.S. And I've spent millions of dollars per month just buying cars for them. That was actually my role with the company. But unless you can afford to buy a new car, because we've all seen our favorite car, whether it's a Nissan 350Z, whether it's the newest 2023 Tundra, whether it's the 2023 Corolla, whatever your favorite car is, you're probably like, I wish I had that. I want that car. I want this. I want that. And guess what? If it's something you really want and you can hold off until sometime in the future, what I would do is buy a used car, right? Because a few years ago, we were in a time where in the beginning of the pandemic, the production of new cars slowed down, right? Because of chip shortage. But then all the used cars started getting bought up, which started pushing those prices upwards, which made used cars very unaffordable. But now we're in a moment in time where the market is, hey, these companies are producing the new cars again because there's plenty of chips available. But now we have interest rates going up, right? So that's causing the value of your payments on those cars to go up, right? And who wants to have a $1,000 payment on a freaking 2023 Corolla? Not me. You know, the average used car right now that there's plenty available and new cars are being made, there's plenty of used cars on the market. And so with interest rates going up, it's slowing. People are not wanting to spend on big purchases right now. So all these used car dealerships are having plenty of inventory available for their customers to buy, right? So on average, your used car compared to a new car is $20,000 less than a new car. And your new cars are priced $40,000 or more, which means you're going to have a higher payment, you're going to have that higher interest, which means you're going to be paying way more for a new car versus a used car. So definitely keep in mind, used cars do come with warranty as well. Very similar to new cars, to where these dealers are going to ensure the extended life of the cars you're buying from them. But what I would do is make sure you do your research to make sure you're getting the best deal from whatever dealer you're buying from, and they're not adding any unnecessary fees. This is not an ad, but I recommend going to CarMax. But it's solely up to you. But that is the third hack. Purchase a used car. Hold off on getting a new car. Because keep in mind, for every car, whether used or new, the value of those cars will drop at least 10% over the year once it leaves that parking lot. And I guarantee you, let's say you were to leave that parking lot from whatever dealer you bought that car from and go to another dealer to try to sell it to another dealer, guarantee you they won't offer you the same value of what you paid for that car. But yeah, that's that. Going into this fourth hack number 4, we all love movies. We all love streaming, Netflix and chill. We love Hulu. Whether you like Stranger Things, or watching the news on Fox, or whether you have cable, we all have those favorite shows that we look forward to throughout the year, right? But the issue is some of these shows, we all have several different shows that we watch. Some of these shows are on multiple different streaming platforms, and some of them are just on cable, right? So Americans end up spending way more than they need to on these multiple platforms, because we're trying to make sure we're keeping up with every show we're trying to watch. You know, my wife loves keeping up with the Kardashians. Using cable services and streaming services like Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, they can add up quickly. And we all know that, right? Especially as the years go on and these services continue to increase their prices because their costs to make these shows are getting more and more expensive and to host them on their servers. The average person is spending $1,200 per year on cable and streaming services. Now imagine if you just cut that down to streaming services. I feel like at this point in time, most people have cut that down and gotten rid of cable and focused on streaming, to where they're spending only about $114 per year on just streaming alone. In my household, what we do is, so we'll have a show on Hulu, we'll have a show on Prime Video, we'll have a show on Netflix. We keep Netflix all year, but any of our shows that we watch that come out on Prime Video or Hulu, we'll watch them for that season. And then what we'll do, since there's major gaps between most major shows, almost years, 3 months up to years, gaps on these shows, we'll stop paying for that service until, the next season for whatever show we're watching comes out again. Now, if that's something you want to do, I recommend it, but that could definitely save you almost $1,200 per year if you have cable and streaming. If you have multiple services and you're one of the people paying up to $114 per year, this could save you money as well. Now, I'm sure you've all heard about Netflix's new rules about sharing their services. Well, I would recommend sharing your Netflix or partnering with a family member or a friend and see if you can use their account, just be careful, right? Be careful, because we all know Netflix is cracking down on these shared accounts. I say the best for last. Coffee, right? I'm sure you can see this is not a at-home cup. This is a McDonald's cup, right? McDonald's. I did mix this at home, as you saw in the beginning of the video, but this was intentional. I did spend some money on some McDonald's coffee a few days ago, but I kept the cup because sometimes people need that feeling that they're drinking coffee from a particular place to satisfy their taste buds. But coffee is loved by most people, and this is one of those expenses where no matter the excuse or what's going on, typically when people are on the way to work, no matter how much it costs, they're willing to get their coffee. It's like an absolute must that they must do, like their ritual before they head into work. But whether you like Dunkin', Starbucks, Black Rock coffee, no matter which one you like, you can drink coffee at home. And this is the fifth and final hack. Drinking coffee at home can save you time and money, right? Especially time. I've been in your shoes where I've gotten up days in a row for years straight, where I would go to Starbucks with my wife and we would get coffee at 3 a.m. And sometimes the bad part about it was having to wait in line. Who wants to wait in line for 10 minutes to get a cup of coffee? Especially if you wait 10 minutes and that coffee doesn't taste how you expected, right? Then you're going to be upset. You're going to be like, well, should I let that ruin my day? You probably shouldn't, because it's just a cup of coffee, but a lot of people really do. Drinking coffee at home can save you a lot of money, right? Like I said. Most people spend up to $1,100 per year on average drinking coffee from places like Dunkin', Starbucks, Black Rock Coffee, Dutch Bros, because these places get expensive. And as we all know, the cost of goods are going up, not just for us, but for those businesses as well. So that means their prices of those coffees are going to go up, which means your yearly cost of drinking coffee will continue to go up. You guys, drink coffee at home, which is much cheaper than buying from a coffee shop. A pound of coffee beans costs around $10, which can make you 50 cups of coffee, right? But you'd rather go spend that $10 at Starbucks for one cup of coffee, large cup of coffee, and a snack, right? That's just my guess. You get a large coffee from Starbucks and maybe a banana bread. It's about $10 for one person. And then you multiply that times 5 days, times however many weeks there are in a year, 365 days. That's a lot of money being spent on coffee. When you can buy a $10 bag of coffee beans grinded, and that makes you 50. If I'm gonna weigh the options, I'd rather do that versus spend the $10 a day on coffee that may be good, but you can make it the exact same way at home. So just imagine, what you can do with $1,100 versus spending that on coffee every year. All right, so I've given you guys 5 hacks that could possibly save you thousands per year. If you're buying coffee daily, spending extra money on groceries, deciding to buy new cars versus used cars, overspending on streaming services, or just eating out all the time. If you take some of these hacks and some of the data points I've given you, that's almost $11,000 in possible savings that you can maximize and use elsewhere throughout your year. You can put that money towards investments, a rainy day savings account. That money can go towards, extra groceries in your home, to make sure you can prep when you're tired and don't want to cook. That can go towards, a $10 bag of coffee that can make 50 cups. That can go towards a nice, decent used car that runs really well. That can go towards a future large purchase you need to make in the future, your kids' college funds, investing in ETFs. That's just a lot of money, So I need you guys to take these 5 hacks, make better decisions, maximize your spending. And if you guys enjoyed this content, make sure you look out for the next video. Comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. This is only the first video. Definitely learned quite a bit of things from doing this. And to be honest, we took quite a few takes. I started over quite a few times. I don't know, depending on the transitions in the video, you may or may not notice. But this first video, I did write a script for it. And I think I put too many words on the screen to where I kept rereading it over and over again throughout the week to make sure I was on point. Verified all the data I'm giving you. But yeah, like I said, comment below. Get ready for that next video. This is only the first one. Excited for this journey. And thank you for your time. See you next time. Peace.